Victory Studios in downtown Little Rock. This is Capitol View.
Welcome to Capitol View. I'm your host, Roby Brock. Thank you for joining us. Well, late this week, there was a little dust up in Washington, D.C. as President Donald Trump and billionaire businessman Elon Musk seemed to put quite a wedge in their relationship. Joining me to talk about this and perhaps a few other things is John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Always good to see you, sir. Gonna fire a little arrows here.
Arrow up for popcorn.
Arrow up for popcorn. I like
I'll
that.
get our popcorn and watch Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Somebody texted me on Thursday that said the anchors on CNBC literally had movie style popcorn boxes and we're sitting there eating it while they were watching some of the clips play. So interesting.
Might as well.
I wish I'd remembered that. I'd have brought some for us on set today. Yeah. Let's go Elon Musk first.
Yes.
Arrow up, arrow down for Elon Musk in this whole dust up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You think it's an option as to which it is?
Yeah. I want to hear you. I want to hear you point, and I want to hear your explanation.
It is my considered opinion that the behavior in which he's currently engaging warrants him an arrow down, and not just an arrow down, but one that keeps plummeting down subterranean levels.
Almost like his Tesla stock price.
Right. Yeah, we were just saying before, they're accomplished men, they're powerful men. They don't appear to have the good sense that you and I do, and we're not just broken out with it, but this juvenile retaliation, junior high or grade school playground level retaliation over like what would be important things if these, and may be important things. You're Musk, and you've been the main associate in the early governing of the United States with the President Donald Trump. He hurts your feelings over a tax credit for electric vehicles and in some other way. So you decide to just drop a little nugget that he's not releasing anything about Epstein because he's involved in that. In other words, I've been working with a guy I think is involved with Epstein, but it's no problem until he hurts my feelings. I'm looking hard for values. Where country first. Ask not what your country can do. Well, we're so far from that. It's beyond imagination. So yeah, I mean, it's a horrible, retaliatory, juvenile, mean, reckless, anti-patriotic way to behave at that level when you're in that level of leadership in the country. So arrow down for him.
It's a junior high food fight is what it is.
And people are going to get their amusement out of it, and popcorn is, may as well get some. But, it's like the New York Times said, some of this is trivial and petty. Some of it is potentially serious, like AI research and space research, and then the government and how it functions, and pretty serious allegations.
Yep.
It's you may as well laugh at it because we've had such an ordeal all year, but it's not really funny. Not really funny when you get down to it.
I want to, just before we move on, I want to say, Elon Musk was the hatchet guy that came in there and did a lot of heavy lifting for the president and Republicans in terms of what he did with this Department of Governmental Efficiency, all of these cuts. They all had protection on that because it was Elon Musk doing it. It wasn't them doing it. And I mean, I think that to me is where, when you see the political fallout here, it's like, do you not realize what this guy did for you politically in terms of cover? He really gave a month's worth of opportunity to cut a lot of spending.
He did, and he took the hatchet, and he took the criticism, he took the flame, and yes, that's true. And do you realize now how easy it is to just have a really rich, weird guy go out and start cutting the government wholesale for you? Now you're to the point of your presidency, Mr. Trump, where you've got to pass a bill. How's that going for you?
Right.
You're having to work the legislative process, and you got a bill out of the House. How's that going? How does it look?
We're going to come to that.
Yeah, we're
going to come to that.
I'm just doing the segue.
So you got an arrow down And continuing to go down on Elon Musk, where does your arrow point for Donald Trump in all of this?
Parallel and at the same.
You can't do parallel.
No, I don't mean across. I mean like Musk is down and keeps going and subterranean. Right there coming down with it, parallel to it, downward at that rate of speed. Trump. These two, you can't separate the infantility of the behavior of these two people and the irresponsibility and the ego madness of both of them and the weirdness of both of them. So you can't really separate the misbehavior. You cannot separate the complicity in what's happening because they are equally absurd toward each other.
But I still feel Trump has had down arrows repeatedly over the last decade. I still feel like he bounces and goes in a different direction, much quicker than Elon Musk would.
Just this morning, this is Friday. Just this morning, the New York Times says Musk is going to engage in a conference call with the White House to try to settle some of this, and is going to maybe back off on. What was he going to do about his space thing? He was going to take it away, and Steve Bannon wanted him deported for doing so.
Oh, they were talking about the government taking over the whole company.
Right, yeah. Musk may give on that, and as soon as he gives on that, the MAGA people, who may be very confused right now, if they can see their president get a little upper hand here, then MAGA back on. Trump's great, and Musk has come around. So I mean, I can't give either of them anything but the ultimate downward arrow. But you are right. Trump always has the ability to recover and spend that he is winning, and the morning signals that Musk may be willing to restate or reconsider some of what he said. All Trump needs is for the MAGA people not to get worried that he's not as great as they think he is. He's got to have a good day or a good weekend, and he'll be back on track.
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the one big beautiful bill, the bill that passed the House. It's over in the Senate now. It actually can be independent of this spat that we're seeing right here.
It's wrapped up in it, but it's its own mess.
Yes.
Yes.
So it looks like the Senate is going to make some changes to it, then it's got to go back to the House, and you got a one vote margin over there. I mean, this thing's fraught with peril. I still think at the end of the day they get something done. So, but where do you rank arrow up, arrow down for the one big beautiful bill, the president's package?
Way down. The bill, pretty immediately after it passed by one vote, we all knew this thing is not real. The Medicaid cuts are the work requirement is just code. They're just going to arbitrarily throw some people off. That's the only savings we got. It's the tax cuts and no real savings. We're going to explode the deficit. All of this work that Musk has done, the hatchet job he did, all of that's going to be undone by the fact that Trump, whatever else he is, he's got a history as quite a big spender, personally and in government. He's not a fiscal conservative or a conservative at all. And we knew the bill was bad. We knew it'd have trouble in the Senate. But since then, 250-page bill, people start reading it. And they go, oh, look here. They're undoing Obamacare. They're going to, eligibility for...
Judges don't have to follow, orders.
Right.
Or people don't have to follow judges' orders.
Right. Yeah, it's, I think it's utterly dead as written. I couldn't pass the House again right now based on what's come out, and the Senate now is talking. The Republicans in the Senate are talking about, well, maybe we'll cut Medicare. Okay, you're getting down to, I'm on Medicare. I wish you wouldn't. Let's be careful what we're doing here with.
It'll just be for people that aren't on it already. So.
Yeah, supposedly. Grandfather in.
Well, grandfather the grandfathers in. So
you could really do some if you wanted to make serious cuts. You could change eligibility, rates of reimbursement on certain kinds of tests and services. You could wreak some havoc and upset the country. But I don't. I cannot see how they get even with reconciliation, I don't see how they get to 51 votes.
Yeah.
Because if they make real cuts, they lose support. If they raise the deficit, they lose support. However, you're right. We've seen maybe not messes quite this big before, but we've seen these kinds of things, and they wind up working out something, doing a little tepid spiking of the ball like they did something, and it's the same old, same old.
Yep.
And we go on with stifling deficits and no real change in the failing culture of our politics. And that's probably where we're going to end up as usual.
3 arrows down today for all of our subject matter. John Brummett, columnist
Arrow
with
up
the
for
Arkansas
you, man.
Journal.
Arrow up for you.
All up for you,
All
too.
right.
I appreciate
All right.
it.